This is sort of a vague question, Gary, but what are the 3 steps to get started in Hollywood? In terms of, you remember coming from San Francisco, being in LA, I know you have your own story, but I think you got an office and you hired a secretary and you waited for the phone to ring.
Don't do that.
Okay, don't do that, right, okay. It sounds like a very nice plan, but yeah. What are some of the steps in terms of, it could be as an actor, a filmmaker, a screenwriter, but you're just coming to Hollywood from somewhere else. It's total culture shock, even coming from the Bay Area where everything seems free and free love and wonderful. It's still culture shock. There's unwritten rules and what would you tell people?
My jaw hit the ground when I first arrived. I'm from San Francisco, and it is night and day, this culture. And I really didn't know anybody. I didn't know how to navigate. I didn't know the business. Actually, I had a neighbor who was brilliantly successful. He became the chairman and CEO of Columbia Pictures Television. He was, at the time, running Norman Lear's company. Very smart, very funny, very brilliant guy. And he sent me into meetings at the highest level of all the major studios. And I wore my heavy wool San Francisco suits in the middle of hot summer, schwitzing, and I showed up and I had no idea what these people were talking about. And we made nice and I left. I thought, I'm unemployable, I have no idea. And what I did is, I don't really recommend this for people, but I joined an outdoor health club. And I played tennis all day long. Paddle tennis all afternoon, tennis in the morning for hours at a time, and everybody who came on the court, they were all in the entertainment business. And I would take them aside after a game and say, tell me about what you do. How do you do it? What are the job definitions? I'd have questions where I really needed the information. And eventually they became friends and they'd introduce me to other people and it just snowballed. My first 6 months, I made 100 friends just by being honest about where I wanted to go. I mean, you have to tell the universe what you want. And I said it repeatedly. And I tried to pick people who I thought were smart, who were well-mannered, who I thought had some success, because if they don't know who you are at first, and you just disarm them, you find out, right? You ask the right questions, and you start to find out. And you use your gut, your heart, your better instrument to say, these people feel real. I don't think they're selling me on something, right? I don't know, there's no perfect formula that's going to work for everybody. It's life. Life is very lifelike. I mean, you know, whether you're an actor, a screenwriter, whatever you are, a filmmaker. Someone once said to me a pretty funny thing, and it was this: if you have your laptop and you've got a few hours to spare, and you want to be productive, well, you could go to the local Starbucks, and all due respect to Starbucks, you can go to Starbucks, or you could be sitting in the first class lounge at LAX, in American Airlines first class lounge at LAX. Where do you want to be meeting people? So if you want to meet people who can help you, and it's all about relationship, it's all about making people, you know, the old adage is it's who you know, and that's marginally true. But underneath that is the truth, which is who feels that they really know you. And not only know you, but like you and trust you. And that's rapport building. Where are you going to find the people that you want to invest in so that they come to know, like, and trust you and will actually open doors and be helpful for the right reasons? And so I would say, you know, there are charities, there's events, there's organizations, there's places where people who have been successful congregate. And you have to research that. And it's going to be different maybe for an actor than a writer. And if you're a writer, you're going to call the Writers Guild and say, what kind of mixers do you have? What events do you have? And you're going to go on chat rooms and you're going to find people who are really successful online. And you're going to follow them on Twitter. And it's the same thing. You're going to retweet them, you're going to acknowledge them, you're going to ask them a question, and after a few months, they're going to know your handle, you're going to be familiar. And eventually, you can, you know, there's so many different strategies, online, offline. But again, it's about intentionality. The thing that is the dividing line, and I'm sorry to give you such a long answer, the dividing line is this. Some people are just perceiving life as random and mysterious and hoping a good thing comes along. And others are saying, no, I'm going to go to the first class lounge and I'm going to go to search.twitter.com and find the top players. And I'm going to research them on Google and I'm going to learn where they're from. I'm going to learn so much information that they're going to think I was their neighbor growing up. That's cool. To me, it's about gamifying the business. People are a little intimidated by it. Turn it into a game. Make it fun. Be honest about it, but don't be intimidated about cold calling. Just say, how can I make this really interesting for the other person? How can I add value for the other person? And just because you're not a produced writer or actor or whatever it might be, never make the mistake of believing that you don't have value to contribute to that other person. It may be you find out that they have a child who is engaged in something you know something about. It may be that you're involved with the same charity they care about. It could be a lot of stuff. But there's always emotional currency and value to be given as a gift if you care enough.